Hello everyone and welcome back to Frankie's Cantonese Book Reviews. The book I'm going to be reviewing today is the Berlitz Cantonese Chinese Phrasebook and Dictionary. This book is $8.99 retail in the United States and £4.99 in the UK. What can I say about this book? Well, before I start talking about this book, let's talk about the older edition. This is actually the first book I bought to learn Cantonese. I don't recommend it. This older edition uses its own romanization method, which is, I wouldn't say so intuitive. For example, like for the word sick, like sick fan. In Yale romanization, they write it as S-I-K. Here they write it as S-I-C-K. So it makes more sense in some ways, but in some other ways it doesn't. For example, hoi, to go in Cantonese, ngo hoi, I go. The way it's written is H-U-R-E-E instead of H-E-U-I in Yale. So they decided to try their own romanization method. I don't think it works. It also doesn't have any tone markers, so you have no idea what the tones of the words are that you're trying to say. That's bad. You need to practice the tones as soon as you start learning Cantonese, or else you're going to have a problem later on, which is why my tones are all screwed up, because I started with this book. I learned lots of vocabulary, but with no tones, so I pronounce words wrong that I'm not really familiar with. Also, it uses standard Chinese characters. So that means, for example, in Cantonese, the way to say yiga, the way to say right now, which is yiga in Cantonese, is written as yin zhoi in this book. So when you see those Chinese characters, it's not yiga, it's yin zhoi. So it's totally different Chinese characters. The meaning's the same, the pronunciation is totally different. So if you're trying to learn how to recognize Cantonese characters, how to read Cantonese characters, then this is not the book for you. But anyway, this is the older edition. You don't really need to worry about it. Even if someone gave it to you for free, I would say, maybe you can put it under your table. I keep it for sentimental value because it's the first Cantonese book I ever bought, but I don't recommend it. So now let's talk about the new edition. This edition was published, I think, in 2012 or 2013. It's 2012. It's brand new. It's really good. Let's see how it has Yale romanization, which is the most intuitive romanization scheme for Cantonese for native English speakers. So if you speak English as a first language, Yale is for you, definitely. It has the typical Yale tone markers for the different tones in Cantonese. What else? It has Cantonese Chinese characters. It's in traditional Chinese, and this book is, I would say, it's more or less Hong Kong Cantonese. There's some Cantonese that's kind of mixed in there that I would say is not really super common in Hong Kong, but Hong Kongers will understand it. It's just not so regional. In other words, I speak English. I live in Boston, and in Boston we call, for example, a rubber band, we call an elastic in Boston. Some people might not understand that in a different area of the United States. An elastic is like, you know, that little, you put it around like money, or you put it around something, you could put it in your hair or whatever. We call it an elastic here, but it's actually a rubber band, something like that. So some of the Cantonese in here is more regional to China, but for the most part, I would say Hong Kongers' Cantonese is pretty similar. What else? So this book is, as soon as you open it up, it has like a little quick reference guide. Everything's written again in Cantonese Chinese characters. It has like yes, no, how much is it? Do you speak English? Can I get past? You're welcome. Please speak slowly. Can you repeat that? Help. You know, where's the toilet? Stuff like that. And then once you open it up, it has, you know, obviously a table of contents, and it has a pronunciation guide that explains the Yale romanization system. And then it gives you examples, which some of the introduction to the Yale system doesn't always give you examples of characters that use those tones. So if you have a native speaker, you can have them read these characters out to you, and you can get an idea of, oh, A as in this, and you know, AAI as in this, for example. And then once you get into the book, the first thing it starts talking about is like survival Cantonese. When you arrive at the airport, stuff you would use. If you have to exchange money, stuff you would use. Then it talks about money, getting around, you know, where's the bus stop, the bus station, how to ask directions, places to stay, how to communicate when you're in a hotel, like I need a blanket, I need a pillow, stuff like that. And then eating out in restaurants, names of different foods and cooking, drinks, stuff that you would see on the menu, how to basic conversation, how are you, what's your name, my name is, I'm from the US, I'm from the UK, I'm American, do you like it, goodbye, stuff like that. And it's all kind of like color coded, so each different section has a different color, and then each color is broken up into different sections as well. So for example, the green color has shopping, and then sports and leisure, and then going out. So I'm sure it's grouped for a specific reason, but I don't remember what reason. And then you keep going through the book, and eventually you get to the back. And in the back, they have a English-Chinese dictionary. And so you can look up the words based on the English word. For example, if you want to know how to say, let's see, a good word to learn. Okay, airport. The way to say airport is 飛機場, which is kind of funny because 飛機場 actually means something in slang Cantonese as well. But you look up the word airport and 飛機場 comes right up. Now, 飛機場 in Cantonese actually, so you think about it, right? I'll teach you a really quick Cantonese word. An airport has a runway, and the runway is very flat, right? So 飛機場 would be like the airport, the runway is very flat. So if you wanted to describe a girl who has no breasts, who's flat-chested, you would say, oh, that girl is 飛機場, she's flat-chested. So that's one of the many colorful metaphors that exists in Cantonese. There are many, many others, and as you learn the language, you'll learn more and more. And there are, actually, most of them are very funny, and it's kind of hard to forget. Another one, which I think I mentioned in another video, is 揸水. 揸水. 揸means to grab or to squeeze. 水 is water, so you grab or you squeeze water. It means to go pee, like to take a piss, literally. So you're like taking the water and you're squeezing it out. Not literally, but I guess you can get the mental, the mental image of how that word, those words came about. It's very slang. You wouldn't find it in a typical dictionary. It's in the Hong Kong, a dictionary of Cantonese slang. The one by, I think it's by Hutton. What is it? Bolton and Hutton. It's a really hard to find book, but you can look that up as well. So back to this book. I do recommend this book. I think it's not really a good source to learn Cantonese from by itself. You can use it as a supplemental book to help you along with your studies. So I would recommend a typical Cantonese book like Complete Cantonese, a Teach Yourself Guide, or something along those lines, Basic Cantonese, or what else? There's a lot of different books, actually. Another book I'm going to be reviewing soon, which I can't remember the name off the top of my head, is like also like that. So usually you would want to get a book that has like a story and then vocabulary and some grammatical explanations. That type of book in conjunction with this book would be very good. Or if you're just going to Hong Kong for like a week or a week and a half and you just want a book to carry around so you can look up certain words, then this is the book for you. I only recommend that you practice and be able to recognize how to pronounce the Yale romanization system. If you don't know how to pronounce the words based on the way that they're written in this romanization system, then the book is useless. You have to learn that system. So if you practice, I think it would take like 2 or 3 days and you'll be able to pick it up. Oh, this is how you pronounce the word, I get it. And then the tone markers, that takes a little bit longer. After a while, you'll be able to, get a better grasp on the tone markers. But I would say if you studied this book or even any Cantonese book for a month, you would be really, really proficient with the tone markers, being able to understand when you see a tone marker, which tone it is and how to say it, and you'd be familiar with the pronunciation. You probably only run into problems once or twice, a week, or maybe a day. I don't know. It depends on your level. It depends on your really proficiency at speaking a language. But personally, I think that anyone who's fairly decent with languages would be able to master the romanization system in a week. If you're not really that good, then maybe a couple weeks or 3 weeks or a month, but no more than a month. I mean, if you really practice this devoutly, then you'd be able to pick it up really quick. But like I said, and most of the books that I do review on my channel here are all, they all use the Yale romanization system. And like I said, I recommend that. The Dictionary of Cantonese Slang uses it, Complete Cantonese Teach Yourself Guide uses it, The Right Word in Cantonese uses it, Feng Shui Master uses it, Wedding Bells uses it. I mean, it's the standard, and it's really the most intuitive system for a native English speaker. Even non-native English speakers, it's still pretty intuitive. Now, there's other systems that are out there, but like I said, this is the best system, I think, for most people, and it's the one that people find the most intuitive. So anyway, thank you for watching my video. You can buy this book on Amazon. I think it costs $8 instead of being the $8.99 as it is retail. There is another edition of this book that comes with the CD. I don't own that edition. It costs like $2 more US, so probably about £1 more in the UK, so it's probably about £6 there. I'm not sure what's on the CD, but it can't hurt to buy. It only costs a couple dollars more. I couldn't find that edition in my bookstore, so I bought this one. So anyway, that is the Berlitz Cantonese Chinese phrasebook and dictionary. Please like my video. It will let me know that you are watching, and I should continue making them. So until next time, bye-bye.